Welcome back to my F125 driver career mode. It's time for Austin, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't been here since F1 2021 in a driver career mode race, so it's been a very long time as well. 23 points back after a disastrous Singapore Grand Prix which led Charles Leclerc to victory. Need to beat him at all costs, basically, really, and avoid him extending his championship lead with going into the penultimate final 2 rounds of the season. R&D wise, looking to sneak on that final upgrade in the season, and it's going to be this weight redistribution upgrade. I don't have enough R&D points to do it at this moment in time, but I will purchase that on between sprint qualifying and the practice and sprint qualifying. Speaking of practice, it was full wet, and this car has absolutely no grip in dry conditions, so you can expect that. Yeah, I'm really struggling doing about 1 mile an hour through the S section there. Fortunately, it did dry up in time for sprint qualifying here, as we've got a couple of cars just deciding to race each other on their cool down lap. One of the racing rules on the Renault as well. We'll just ignore them and get on with my lap. That's a delta, by the way, between medium and soft tyres. I always do is run on the medium compound tyres first in sprint qualifying, just because you only get the 1 set of soft tyres in this sprint qualifying session. 1.2 second improvement is absolutely fantastic. I know, good for P15. What is that going to be on the soft tyres though? P6. Of course it's going to be P6, as well qualified for the past couple of rounds. Interestingly, the top 5 though are only separated by a couple of tenths, and then there's a huge bit of a gap back to myself, so that's not overly great, but my race pace is better than my qualifying pace, which is why I'm going to move to the sprint itself. Now, this is where things got a bit interesting. I thought, do I want to try the soft tyres? It is marginally slower than the mediums, but let's see what everyone else is on. Everyone except Piastri and Norris, the 2 McLarens, is on the mediums. So I think I'm going to join the McLarens on the softs. Why not? I need to outscore Leclerc today. That would be ideal. 5 red lights then for the sprint here at COTA. The first sprint that I've ever done around this track, and away we go. And it's a much better start than Yuki Tsunoda and Lewis Hamilton. That's good. Can I get in front of Piastri there? Yes, I can. And around the outside then of, that is the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso. Piastri's also in front of Alonso as well. And now I'm going to send it here down the inside of Leclerc. Catch him a bit napping. Use a bit of ERS to get the position. That was a beautiful move. Look at this. Just the confidence to absolutely just send it as well. You know, when you could take that line, you just absolutely send it on Leclerc. Leclerc's not going to be done yet. He is going to have a go. The hairpin seems to be where they're the strongest. Again, I've talked about them having their traction issues at slow speed corners. But they don't seem to be as harsh around here than some of the other tracks, like Austria, as well as I'm going sideways already. These softs are really wearing out, which could be a problem for the main race, and again, having to defend from Leclerc as well. Again, I really need to beat Leclerc in this race, and I'm going to get some help from an unlikely source potentially, because that's Lewis Hamilton first getting past Oscar Piastri as well. So could Hamilton get past his teammate? He's not actually got past Piastri as well. Oh, he's gone deep. I needed Hamilton to help me out, but it's not going well. But now they're going 3 wide between Hamilton, Piastri and Alonso there. And Hamilton has caught both Piastri and Alonso napping at that corner. Great move from, from the 7-time world champion in the Ferrari. Hopefully trying to get back to his best on defending once again. And that is Hamilton. He is going to help me out. Come on, Lewis. Get the better traction, mate. Please. You need to help me out. And beat your teammate. I know this is just to get 2 points. But he is going to come back. But both of them are now going to go side by side. I'm going to pinch Leclerc to the inside. A bit more harsh on him. And Hamilton. No team orders for Ferrari, clearly. as Hamilton is the one that is in front of Leclerc, even though he's not in this championship fight, and that's going to be 2 points gained on Leclerc today, which is a good start, but I need to follow this up in the race. The tyre wear really savage, 45% after 7 laps. It was awful. I was sliding all over the place too. So I think the softs are going to have to be avoided, which, well, we'll come back to that. But I'm just happy to get, even if it's just a sprint win, you know. I don't believe, I think that might be my first win around this track in any series. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe I've ever won in the career mode around this track before. I don't know. It has been a while since I raced here in career mode, so if you are an OG subscriber and you remember when I was last here, then let me know in the comments below. But anyway, we'll bank those 2 points. 21 points will be the gap as we head into qualifying. We're hoping for an even better qualifying than what I managed in the sprint at the end. It's a little bit later on as well in the day. We've got the sun setting here. I don't know why the sun always sets. I don't believe this happens IRL. I can't quite remember. But anyway, we've got Mercedes needs to get out of the way, which is not going to help matters. I've lost about a couple of hundredths there. Leclerc's done a 32.8 again. He is invincible. But Hamilton's gone even quicker. He loves this circuit, remember, as well. I've not had a great first sector, and I actually lost a bit of time as well. I'm going to try and use a bit of ERS here to gain that time back. And you can see here, now I'm getting to 10th and a half now. I've reached previous best time. I'm going to try and aim for a top 6 again. You know, that seemed to be a good starting position. 6th to try and get into term, you know, to try and get potentially lead. 5th or 6th would be beautiful. I hope, you know, I want to get pole position, but I don't think I'm going to beat the Ferraris. The closer I get to them, the better. As well as we come then into the end of the middle sector, 2/10 gain then as we go through this sort of Mickey Mouse section, which already nearly obviously made that overtake, you know. So that section of corners purely makes it up. And then of course we got the imitation of Turkey, this triple right-hander as opposed to the triple left-hander that turn 8 to Turkey, which of course will be coming back soon to in F1 2027. As well as we're now going to go to take a bit of curbing and up to the line around this horrible final corner, and well, and it's a 3.5 improvement, and that is good enough for P5, which I will definitely take as well. But 7.5 back off Hamilton there. The Ferraris in and on their own up, but the fact that Norris is closer than 2 shows some good pace. Where is Sainz? You might be asking, because as you can see, he's not here. The Astons have gone backwards as well. He's P18. I need some help. Well, this car's seemingly dreadful. It's time for the race. Could this championship be back on? A good result here would be fantastic. Now, literally, yeah, I'm not liking the way these deltas are, but the hards is something that's needed here, because we know that the tyre wear on F125 for the player versus the AI is awful. So, you know, just look at those times. You know, I'm going to be in the 136s. So it's saying a half and half. I was thinking starting the hards, but because we're up here in P5, we're going to move to the softs. I'd love to be able to do something a bit more than just that. I know the other hards are 2 steps harder than the medium, so this is going to be difficult. Vibrant lights then for the United States Grand Prix, and away we go. and it's an absolutely fantastic start as they all move to the inside, which paves the beautiful way for me to go right round the outside, 3 wide with the 2 Ferraris on the inside there, and then swoop round the out and take the lead. Then the United States Grand Prix, what a fantastic start as well, round the outside of both Leclerc and Hamilton. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you go from 5th to 1st here at COTA. As we move to lap 2, I'm not able to get in front, escape the Ferraris, which is unfortunate. The likes of Colapinto and Ocon are causing a bit of a blockade, but they're, setting fastest laps. Tsunoda, see, my fastest laps in the 37s. I've never really had the pace here at COTA, and the Ferraris, they're going to carry on being a menace, really. And I'm trying my best here to really just defend from him lap after lap. Hamilton has just been on, it's either once there was on the inside, here on the outside, a bit of tyre banging on this time. But move to lap 8, that's just a summary of what happened basically. It's the same moves lap after lap, and it was just boring after a while, really, as well. He just didn't want to vary his attacks, as well. It was always the same corner. 31% on the rears. I decided to move to the hards and try and I thought of an undercut. I'll undercut the Ferraris on the hards. What I didn't think, hindsight is a wonderful thing in life. And if I'd realised that this tyre has got no grip whatsoever, if I realised that this tyre was a tub of lard, then yes, I went from having a 4-second gap over to Piastri to having absolutely nothing, as Piastri's lost his front wing end plate. There's a bit of tyre back in there as well, and that's sort of a problem, because I had the lead, you see, before I pitted, and it wasn't the most comfortable thing. There's a replay there. Piastri going out the inside, as he will do again on his medium tyres. He started on the softs. I'm trying to squeeze him as much as possible to keep position, but look, Norris and Leclerc have jumped me. And this time it's Tsunoda as well, not Piastri. Tsunoda's got in front there. Now, just as things that you thought things were bad, they're about to get worse, because that's Hamilton. Hamilton would have inherited the race lead, but he's been undercut by his teammate. So Charles Leclerc has done pretty much nothing in this race and has the lead quite comfortably, as well as I'm now sending it to keep this P4. I know it might be a bit too late, but in terms of the championship, it's just damage limitation, and once again, oh my goodness, where am I going? I'm even having tyre wears on these hards, and these hards are supposed to be like road tyres, as I've lost it there through the rear, through the S sections. I find that the rears just start going. I don't know about you, but on this, they start really going off on any tyre after about 15%. Tsunoda's got front wing damage because of that, by the way, which is unfortunate for him, and he's now been re-overtaken by Oscar Piastri. He's also got front wing damage. Lance Stroll, who's there, he's down at the back, and his engine has decided to give it up for the 38th time this season. He's probably have more DNFs than Andrea De Cesaris in this career mode. So Piastri did come back at the end. Look at that, 28%. I'm just drifting through, sliding through every corner. Even on these C1 compound hard tyres, I just got tyre wear, and that's really the fact that the tyre wear really killed any chance, because if I didn't have high tyre wear on the rears, I'd have been able to do soft medium. I wouldn't have to be able to touch these awful hard tyres. It's like putting tubs of lard on. That's how useful they are. Sainz recovered to P13. That's not great. Colapinto, I'm not really sure what happened to him. Finished down in P14 in the end. He was beaten out with his teammate as well. Antonelli beat Russell as well, which is not great for George Russell. But in the end, 35-2. Nobody. Leclerc is unstoppable at the moment in this career mode. And I will need every one of you to start praying to the F1 gods. We need a miracle if I'm going to get this, if I'm going to win this championship. Because it's 34 points back with 2 races and a sprint race remaining. So Leclerc beats me in Mexico. That is it. As well, Sainz is sort of over as well. So, you know, Norris is out of this, by the way, now 58 points behind. Hamilton versus Piastri could be interesting. That P4 in the drivers' championship. I have to see if those two battle on track. I haven't seen them together as well. Constructors is dead. Ferrari are way out in front because Sainz has scored 3 points in 9 races. So yes. You know, it's not a lot I could really do about that. I'm forced onto the hard tyre because of the tyre wear. If I did a soft tyre, I'd risk a punch charge for sure, I reckon. You know, although the tyre wear wasn't that bad, you know, I'd have to have gone to make them. The mediums were awful, you know, after a certain amount of laps. And to make the soft tyre worse, I'd have to have gone at least like 9 laps, which would have gone puncture range, really. So tyre wear, not great. I'll try and bounce back, though, in Mexico, which is a better track for me there. I've won there many times in the past. It's a good track for me. I'm hoping that for Leclerc, his engine blows up. Please, please, please do pray for say those prayers to the F1 gods. But that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F125 driver remote videos and F126 DLC content. As I just want to say huge thank you for spending a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes of your time watching my F125 driver remote videos. Sadly, only finishing P4 here in the United States. But until the next video, then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.